Hola, amigas. 'Tis I, Chlois, aka Manny Bish, over on Instagram. I'm sorry about my voice today. I am suffering a little bit from dip flu. So today we are doing full coverage tips, and I'm using these McCart ones that I got off of Amazon. And I'm only going to show you my prep and everything on one nail. I have all of my other nails already done. So let's get into my index finger. I am first starting off with prepping my nail, like the nail tip. I'm just seeing where my natural nail is going to go, and then I'm going to be filing and roughing up that inside. You want to, if you can get pre-etched nails, I would recommend going that way because it makes your life a lot easier. And if you don't have a nail drill, then it's just a lot easier because it is so hard to get a hand file inside of those crevices. So I'm just measuring that again. I needed a little bit more. And then we've got it to where I want it after getting it etched. This is just going to help it adhere better to your nail. And so now we are going to do our finger. And I have my, you can use a buffer for this if you want to. Also, you don't have to use a drill. I have my e-file at a, at 4,000 RPM. So just level 4 if yours just goes by numbers like that. And I'm just easily doing this. I am not applying pressure. Just trying to rough up my natural nail just a little bit. And this is the tapered barrel from Kara Sky drill bit. And it's just like a buffer, or they also call it like a sanding band, just like without needing the sanding band part, you know? So for your prep. So now I cleaned my nails off with alcohol to get all the debris off. And now I'm going to use this. This is a Dip Essentials Bond, but it's just a dehydrator, and so I'm using that. And next we are going to be using this problematic situation. So this is extra strength acid primer, and I would get acid-free primer, but I still have this and I don't want to waste it because it cost me $13. So I'm like, okay, you know what? We're going to use this. No, big mistake. This is what it did. It reacted with the gel and started getting cloudy. So I would advise you to skip this step here and do not use primer. At least not one with acid. I don't know. Maybe an acid-free primer would not react this way. I honestly don't know. And so this is the nail glue that I'm going to be using from Beetles. And you need a UV light for this. And I am going to be using my UV flashlight for part of this situation to be doing the flash cures because, yeah, so I don't have to try and maneuver my finger in there. Also, something I do is go ahead and file around the perimeter on the outside of the nail, just so it will take some time off of getting that bulkiness once it's already on the nail off. So you won't have to spend as much time going around the perimeter of your nail once it's already on. I will be holding my flashlight with my mouth for part of this. So when you see my flashlight floating around, that is me holding it with my mouth and trying to cure my finger. So I am putting a thin layer, and I mean thin. I'm making sure that almost all of the product is off of my brush before I go in with this. I am putting a thin layer on my fingernail, and then I am going to pick up my nail tip. Oh, actually, I'm going to clean any gel off of my finger first. That's what I'm going to do. Just with my little cleanup brush. This is just a McCart polygel brush that came in one of their kits that I had gotten years ago. And it's really nice for cleaning up your nails. Now I'm going to take my nail tip, and I am going to make sure that there is a little, like, some gel from sidewall to sidewall. That's going to just create like a little slip surface for our puddle. So you're going to use you want to have a puddle at the cuticle area. And I'm just trying to make sure I have enough gel on my nail because you want it to where you're not having to push the nail extremely hard into your natural nail. because that will cause some pressure and make your nail very uncomfortable. I have my flashlight on in my mouth, ready to go. I'm just facing it and pointing it downwards so that way I don't accidentally cure the gel too soon. Starting at my cuticle, we are going to slowly push it down until it gets to the free edge. Once it gets to my free edge, I am just going to flash cure this, hold it there for about 15 seconds. This is an LED flashlight, so it will cure your gel. And then I'm going to move my finger away and just making sure that I have, trying to move my finger away to make sure the flashlight got under there. Then I put my finger in my actual lamp for 30 seconds just to get an even better cure because I didn't want to accidentally hit it and it just move. So here we go again. Next nail. Thin layer on my natural nail. I am not curing those. I am leaving it wet on my natural nail, and I am getting my gel in my nail tip. You see me go back because I'm just eyeballing it, and I'm not sure that it's enough. And then I'm going to turn on my flashlight, get it ready, start at the cuticle, and slowly press it down towards your free edge. And here I kind of moved, but somehow miraculously I did not have to take the nail off because when I pushed back down, all of the bubbles went away. So here we go. Now you're probably wondering, like, how do people, so I did my flashlight and then I cured it for 30 seconds in my lamp. You're probably wondering, how do people get it to where the spillage does not just come out all over the place? Well, actually, first let me talk about this. You want your nails to fit sidewall to sidewall. So see, on my pinky, it was too big. If I had it on my middle finger, it would have been too small. It wouldn't have fit. And so you need it, and you too small, you don't want to have to be pressing it down into your nail for it to fit. You want it to fit when you're just loosely holding it onto your nail like this, sidewall to sidewall. And if you have your nail like somewhere in between, always go too big and then file down the sides to your nail. Do not try and make a too small of one work. Always go a size up, too big, and then file it down to the size you need if your nail is in between and is not a perfect size. So now that we see that, in order to get your gel to not like have a massive spill out situation, don't press your nail all the way down. Don't press the tip all the way down to your nail until like you feel the natural nail or the tip on your nail, and because that's going to squeeze all of that gel that you put in there out, which means your apex is also going to be ruined because these nails already have pre-apex. So you're going to push it just until you see it reach your nail tip, and that is going to help that. Now I have a little bubble here, so I went back at the cuticle and tried to like press it down just a little bit to move the gel around, and the air bubble actually popped out the side, which was fine. I will just file that off later, all the stuff. So again, just push until it reaches your nail, the free edge of your nail. Don't keep going until you see all the gel like flood out of the nail. Just go until you get to your free edge. Sometimes you will still have some spillage, but it won't be as much as you normally would, because I struggled with this for a long time, and then I finally figured out what I was doing wrong. You just push it down until you see the gel reach your free edge, and then stop and cure it. That's what you're going to do. Now, I had a little hole here on my pinky at my free edge just for my natural nail, like being stupid and dumb. So none of the gel filled in there. So I'm just going to go in with my little nail art brush here, and I'm going to just physically put the gel there and fill in that hole just for some extra security. So I'm just putting that in there, making sure it's just like all in there, and it's in there. Then I'm going to use my cleanup brush just to get any off of my skin and make sure it's not like over flooding the nail tip. And then I'm going to cure that, and I'm going to cure my whole hand for 60 seconds. Now we are going to file these babies and just make them blend a little bit better with our nails. And I am also going to be shaping them because, as you can see right now, they're a little like more ballerina-esque, where they kind of come out first a little wider and then taper in. And I don't want that. I just want a straight coffin. So I've already got my left hand completely done, or I mean my right hand completely done. So now I'm just pulling my skin away from my nails just to make sure, like, if any gel had stuck to my skin or anything around the free edge, that it just got off, didn't stay there, because I don't want any like crazy allergies or anything. Now I'm just going to be going around my cuticles, and just I'm using the same tapered barrel bit from Kira Sky, and this is extremely, I'm using it at a speed of 7 now, 7,000 RPM, and we are just literally going around our sidewall, cleaning up those cuticles and everything, just to get this nail to blend a little bit better and not look so fake and press on-y. So that's all I'm doing here, and just going completely around my nail, not staying in one spot for too long. I'm not trying to cause burning or the ring of fire or anything like that. This part you can also do with a hand file. I would say the only thing in this like step or in this like full coverage tip process that you can't do with a hand file, or would be extremely difficult to do with a hand file, would be etching the insides of the nail tip. That is going to be super hard. But I have seen actually where some people will just get a barrel bit and like glue it or tape it to a smaller object and just run it in there themselves without the drill. So that would be something you could do if you don't have a nail drill or don't want to use one. But that is literally the only thing I can think of that would be extremely difficult to do in this process without a drill. Everything else can be done with a hand file. And here you see me going in with my hand file because I'm going to be straightening up the free edge. I am just putting my file right there at that like bubble part that's coming out of the nail, filing it off, checking my free edge to see if it's straight. I like to put my file under my nail because since I use white paper towels, it just makes it a little bit easier to see. If I put my file under there, I can see, like, it gives me that dark background where I can see what needs to be done or if it's good. Holding my fingers steady like this also helps if you can do that. Because, yeah, sometimes your nails just, they go all over the place. So when I'm doing this also, I am kind of going into the sidewall a little bit of my nail as well. Here I'm just making sure, my left hand matches my right hand fairly decently. They don't have to be identical, but I want them to kind of match. I'm just also slightly going into the sidewall to blend that out a little bit better too. But you'll see that in order to get this little bubble off of my nail, I was not holding the file off the bubble and it was touching my free edge. It was away from my free edge, away from the free edge, because I didn't want to take any more width off of the tip of the nail. I only wanted that little bubble part out, and then I wanted to blend it into the sidewall of my nail. So I stayed away from my free edge until I felt like I had that bubble off, and then maybe I wanted them a little bit thinner, but otherwise we wouldn't have gotten our nail the shape we wanted it. So I'm just measuring these and seeing. Now here you'll see that my pinkies, they are the same length, but my nail beds are not the same length, which is totally fine. So that happens. Sometimes your nail beds are going to be longer on one hand or on other nails, but the like nail length and tips are the same. Sorry, my son was knocking. Anyways, I'm just showing you how I do my thumbs because I like my thumbs significantly shorter than the rest of my nails. So I used my nail clippers here, my nail cutter things, to get my thumb down, and I'm just going to shape it a little bit to the other thumb. I like my thumbs shorter because I have a 3-year-old in the car seat, and if you know, you know. I need to get one of those like baby car seat clip thingies off of Amazon, but I haven't done it yet. So until then, I have to have short thumbs because otherwise I can't get my kid out of the car seat. So yeah. Now going in and buffing all of my nails. I am going to be doing this, and then we will be top coating them. I like to top coat my stuff because sometimes I go a couple of days without having dip on or anything, and also when I use my peel base, it just having a shiny surface underneath the peel base does help your peel base come off easier. Just FYI. So dusting off that debris and everything with alcohol on my scrubby brush. Now we are going to top coat. I am not using a gel base. I am just doing gel top coat, and it's just Manny Boss, of course, gel top coat. I don't know why I decided not to use gel base. I just didn't. I do really like this top coat. It does stick pretty nicely without gel base, and so I just kind of was trying to go without the added extra like layers and thickness, because then once I get the dip on and everything, that's going to add its own thickness. So, you know, and these nails are actually pretty thin on their own. They're just I don't like super thick nails, more so at the tip. I don't I don't like a super thick tip. Yeah. Carrying on from that, that's why I think partly I decided not to do this. Other than that, I can tell you why. I'm just cleaning around my skin and my sidewalls, getting any of that extra gel off before I cure. I'm so sorry about my voice, guys. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Now, after curing that for 60 seconds, I am cleaning underneath my nails to get any of that dust off. And I had a little tiny piece over here on my free edge on this finger that was like still kind of rough, and so I just lightly buffed it without like taking any of the top coat off or anything, just lightly buffed the tip. And this is what these look like. And you can already see on my right, not bubbles, the cloudiness from the acid primer. So they're gonna go from being this nice clear pretty color to being cloudy, but whatever. This was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped any, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, bitches.